Oh, hey there. Just lacing up my boots to stomp out these myths about ADHD. I almost locked myself out of the house doing that because my husband's in the shower right now after a run. And that door was locked, but I didn't realize it. Welcome to my office. Some of you may have been here before. If you haven't, welcome. I'm Sarah, and I have ADHD. If you are interested in learning about ADHD, learning about how a woman who is diagnosed with ADHD as an adult lives her life, then you should go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit the bell, like the video, leave a comment, tell me about yourself. You know the drill.
Maybe you don't. That's the drill.
Anyway, I am. Please note my sparkling water cans. There are a lot of them. ADHD medication gives you dry mouth. I'm putting my glasses on because it's Professor Sarah time. Today, I'm going to be debunking 5 common ADHD myths.
There's a spot on these glasses, and it's bothering me. I don't know where my lens wipes are. I'm going to use a tissue. That's not a great idea, but it's what's here.
I will reference my sources in the video while I'm talking to you, as well as link them in the description down below so that you can check them out for yourself, because we don't believe in fake news here, folks. This is science, and we do believe in that. The first myth that I will talk about today is one of possibly the most infuriating and offensive.
And that is that it isn't real.
There have been countless studies. There is a wealth of scientific evidence that this is in fact a real medical disorder. It is linked to altered processing of the neurochemical norepinephrine. People who have ADHD also tend to have lower amounts of the neurochemical dopamine, the thing that
Makes you happy. That's a very basic explanation of dopamine, and honestly, I don't even know what norepinephrine does.
there is a lot of scientific evidence that this is a real disorder and that our brains process things and fire off differently than the brain of someone who is not diagnosed with ADHD or who doesn't have ADHD. There have been over 10,000 articles published in peer-reviewed medical journals about ADHD and how it is a real medical condition, and that number was as of 2015, so definitely probably much higher now, 5 years in the future. There is a lot of evidence that children who are diagnosed with ADHD, their brains do not develop in the same way or at the same rate as people who do not have it, or children who do not have ADHD. So there you have it, folks. Myth number 2. Now that we've established that ADHD is an actual medical disorder,
Sarah, come on. You're an adult. You just need to try. Just need to try a little harder. Be a little less lazy and try a little harder to be a little more focused or a little more organized.
I don't choose to be like this. It causes problems for me. It's not all fun times. Don't you think that if I could just try a little harder and fix my memory problems, if I could have a house that if one of my friends,
Not in COVID life, because we don't do that.
one of my friends say, hey, I'm gonna swing by, not have a total meltdown panic? We can't just try harder. It's a disorder.
Just try harder and your migraine will go away.
That's not how it works. Our next myth.
But Sarah, you have great grades. You're so smart. You can't have ADHD.
First of all, grades are not a reflection of a student's intelligence. Second of all, absolutely not true. ADHD does not affect someone's intelligence at all. Traditional school, public school, tends to be set up in a way that doesn't really work for ADHD brains. And that is why a lot of kids with ADHD do have bad grades. I was not one of those people, but that doesn't mean that I don't have ADHD. And in the same vein, having ADHD is not a reflection of a person's intelligence.
But little Johnny here can focus for 5 hours on a video game. How come he can't focus on his homework?
Another myth. People with ADHD can't focus on anything.
Oh, how wrong you are, my friend. How wrong you are.
A symptom that comes along with ADHD is called hyperfocus. And that means that if I'm doing something that I'm really interested in, I can lose all track of time and I will spend hours and hours focusing on that one thing. I may forget to eat. I may not go to bed until 3 a.m. And that is hyperfocus. People with ADHD are able to focus on things that they find very interesting, and we don't have control over our hyperfocus. We can't decide to hyperfocus on our homework. That's not the way ADHD works. Just because little Johnny loves his video game and can focus on it doesn't mean that he doesn't have ADHD.
But Sarah, you're an adult. Adults can't have ADHD.
This was something that was believed for a long time, and I feel like is still believed by a lot of people. Honestly, I thought that for a long time until I got diagnosed with it. A statistic that I saw come up again and again in the research that I did was that children who are diagnosed with ADHD, 70% of them continue to show strong ADHD symptoms into their adolescence, and 50% of them continue to show those strong symptoms into their adulthood. You can have ADHD as an adult. I think that's 5. I wasn't counting. I was kind of just talking. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you. And to all my people out there with ADHD, I feel ya. I'm with you. Have a great night.